musician. How are you, Lal Daggy?
Thank you for the invitation.
I think the last time we ever met was some years back in Kitengela, and that time I tried. At that time I knew a little of sign language, and right now sign language forgotten.
All you need to do is to meet with a number of deaf people so that they can help you actually to learn more and practice signs. Because if only you learn and don't practice, then it won't help you. But meeting a number of them, it will help you practice this signing.
Now I should always be with you a number of times and see you do your thing.
Exactly.
Now, your music journey, where did it begin?
My music name is Lal Daggy, and that is my sign name. My music journey started in the year 2013. That's when I met with Jaguar. He helped me a lot because, you know, he was top back then, and he listened to my concerns. I wanted to be a musician. And then later on, I met with Nonini. He's a great friend of mine. We collaborated together, and we're still talking till today.
But then, now taking a look at performing in sign language is different from how the other performances. How is it now for you, your experience? How is it different from how you perform, even the collab that you do with the Nonini and all the other artists?
My experience is genuinely thinking about deaf music and hearing music. But if you look at the hearing people and the deaf fraternity, we are all the same. The only difference is that I am using sign language. I know hearing people can do sign. So actually, let me give an example with when I met Nonini. So he was wondering that you're deaf, but you're good in signing, you're good in writing. The only thing I can do right now is to advise. So we were using paper to communicate, but then I had an interpreter who would help me. So we talked about the topic, and we came up with Story I'm a Champion. We wrote the music, he looked at it, it was okay, and he voiced, then I was using sign language. And that's how it shows that deaf can, there's no hard on trying something. When I am signing, I know you cannot hear. But when you're talking, I cannot understand you. So that means we both have disability.
Yes.
And we can only make it simpler.
But then, and what about lip reading? Can you try and maybe lip read what the artist would probably be saying? Maybe even listening to a music, maybe lip reading what the song is about?
Lip reading depends with different person. Probably if I meet you once and I don't meet you again, then it's not hard for me to lip read. But if I am used to you, then it's easy. I have to learn word by word so that it's going to be easy for me to lip read. Also for the other deaf people, sometimes it is hard. It depends with what you do and how you actually meet with person, oftenly or always.
Okay.
You know, when you're speaking, I cannot hear, but I have to make sure that I look at you keenly to know what you're saying.
All right. And when you had started, you had given us your finger spelled your sign name. But now I'm curious, what other deaf people, what sign name do they give you?
They call me by the same sign name. That's my sign name. Now, how we actually be able to call you is by seeing your uniqueness. I will keenly look at your face and probably give you a sign name. It's not hard. It's very hard for us to actually to call you by your name. But using sign name, it's very easy. And so I will just look at you, your uniqueness, you tell me your name, and then I'll give you a sign name according to how you are.
So probably sign name mine, what? Maybe.
Meeting for the first time, it's very hard for me to give you a sign name. But probably we can give you that one. S from the forehead, S on the cheek, probably anywhere. So, but if we meet oftenly, then I'll be able now to know what exactly, the exact sign name I can give you. But right now, it's a little bit hard.
All right. And now back to matters music and the whole creation of music. You call yourself Africa's first deaf musician, but then have you met with other deaf musicians? Apart from Kenya, have you traveled to other parts of the world and even the continent, Africa? And what do they tell you about creating music in other parts of, creating deaf music in other parts of the world?
I have already met with a deaf person. Saint Mark. That is his sign name. His name is Saint Mark. He's from Finland. He had visited the country and we had some discussion. I would see how he was performing and I was inspired. We talked and he said that, deaf can. So from that point, we have not met a number. But here in Kenya, I am trying to motivate some upcoming deaf musicians. But we have a challenge as well. When you want to go for ENT, you want to go to the studio to do some recording, it's very expensive. I have been to South Africa. We recorded the music and people were so amazed by how we're doing it. So they kept on motivating us, and people really are happy about how we do music as deaf people. But the challenge is communication barrier.
Right. And this particular week has and this particular week has even provided the chance for deaf people to actually meet and take a look at how things are. This being the international week for the deaf, and in your view, I mean, there have been a number of events in USIU and also in Kise. Tell us, what is the significance? How important really is having such a week?
This week, it is Deaf Awareness Week. And the only thing that we are doing is to advocate for the deaf people to access information. We get information quite late because it's very hard to catch up with the hearing people. But sometimes you see most of us are losing hope because we can't get information. So this week is for us to advocate for equality between people with disability in general and the regular people. And more so, talking about sign language, we are trying to make sure that people can actually learn basics and be able to communicate so that we can help one another. If you see one generation is growing and the other one is losing, then definitely in the country we're not going to develop together, and some people will lag behind. And it's also not good when you see some people are being separated. We're actually hoping that everyone can be able to learn sign language and make communication easier, be able to access employment, get an opportunity anywhere and everywhere. That will be perfect for all of us. We don't want anyone to lose hope.
Right. And now it matters schools because you definitely now train, even the deaf children. They definitely start to learn sign language, even the Kenyan sign language, and also, making music, making poetry, and all this as young as they are. Do you feel like we have that in Kenya really?
Yes. The reason is we have been creating this awareness for the longest people. Government is also have provided an opportunity for deaf people to be in school. For example, when I was in school, we were doing poetry. And I had to stop because, you know, I don't learn Kiswahili, it's quite hard. But sign language actually made things easier. So you can be able to do poetry using sign language. You learn and be able to write the words, and then now you develop as you're growing. And sometimes you end up losing some things because you can't communicate. But Kenya Sign Language has really helped a lot because children can learn and then can be able to actually become musicians in the future. They can do anything by just using KSL because it's close to English.
Right. And now because you mentioned matters poetry, and today I have my co-host here, Catherine Simoloi. You can do the poetry in sign language, and Simoloi can help us in interpreting what you are saying.
I only have a music for International Deaf Awareness Week,
okay.
But he can try and then I can do it. He'll just do it slowly because I don't have the words already.
All right.
It's about Deaf International Awareness Day. Happy International Deaf Awareness Month. Happy International Deaf Awareness Month. Let us use hands to make our voice heard. We will use sign language, all of us together. We will do music. Mm-hmm. Just that.
I was expecting Simole to actually sing, but I know she can probably sing.
It's a short verse, and definitely I'm not a musician. If you need the music, then I can show you how we will do it later. Once it is ready, then we will invite you to come and sing with us. Yeah, but for now, it's just some few words that I'm coming up with to create a whole music.
Right. And now, as this particular week is coming to an end, what is your takeaway? What is maybe this particular week, what has happened for you and you feel like this has been the hugest moment for this particular week, matters awareness of the deaf people?
My highlight on this week is it has been actually been broadcasted on televisions as Awareness Deaf Week. We have been recognized and we have seen truly the people are aware about deaf people. Like my family members, they know this is Deaf Awareness Week. So it has really been, it has reached to people and they have recognized our uniqueness and our importance being inclusive in the society. And that is through sign language. It's the only way we can communicate. So if people can actually take that in a serious way, then we will be able to communicate, and the deaf people will be able to communicate and air out their grievances or be able to understand. You know, sometimes when you're using sign language, some people think that you're actually mad, but that is our way of communication.
All right.
So we need all hearing people to learn sign language, so that, and also learn the deaf culture and learn ethics, and that's way communication is going to be easier.
Right. What things probably, now in the deaf culture, do you feel like people who are even watching you this morning should really know about? The deaf culture is you feel comfortable communicating with sign language. Okay. Don't shy away. You want just to cover up, no. Because when you're speaking, no one is actually asking you anything. It's the same way with the deaf. Communicate, use sign language freely, feel confidence
while using it.
Okay. And you've been in the music industry for years now. Do you feel like the creative industry, the music industry in itself, has created a safe space even for the deaf culture? It has been included in the deaf culture. I mean, you're in it, you're in the creative industry, but is there space for even others to come on board?
Yes. I feel they have felt our worth. And the deaf people, probably in the future, let's say now, other deaf people, not me, will be able to access the music industry easily, because at least now it is now there's an opportunity. When I was trying to venture into music, I know there was a challenge, because some people would see like deaf person cannot, but with the encouragement that I got, then it is good. And what I am doing right now to advocate for it, then I'm pretty sure that in future we'll have more deaf musicians. I am actually motivating and helping the deaf youth who want to be a musician to actually pursue their dream and achieve it. And I feel when you actually see music in sign language, it's more enticing, actually. And I've seen that through the TV, I've seen that deaf people are able to access different institutions. They're able to access to different opportunities, and this has been great through the Deaf Awareness Week.
All right. So we're going to take a short break. But then I'm curious, the kind of experiences you've had. Have you ever been maybe discriminated